Let's move on to the Bengals. Uh, you have Joe Burrow coming off the injury. You have Mixon right around Dobbins' ADP. I mean, who do you like more, Mixon or Dobbins at running back?
Oh, like Mixon by a mile. It's not even close. I will give you that Dobbins fits the frozen pond description to a T. But yeah, Joe Mixon, if he stays healthy, I mean, he has top five potential this year, right? Without Gio Bernard,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see him, see the true workhorse role. So, I love Joe Mixon this year. I think, getting him at the end of the RB1 tier, I think you do it. I think, injury labeling guys as injury prone can get you in trouble. I think just take Joe Mixon, assuming he'll be just as healthy as every other back. So I love his upside here. So yeah, like sign me up for Mixon. And how dare you compare him at all to JK Dobbins? It's a completely different situation. So give me Mixon all day.
I'm doing it for the average drafter, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, I think our listeners probably a little sharper than the average drafter, but still, if you're listening right now, it's still July. You have Mixon going RB14 and Dobbins going RB15. So this is a choice that people are having to make as they start, ramping up their draft and pre-draft process. So, but I do like Joe Burrow as the QB12. I think there's some upside there. I think they've thrown a ton in these years since Taylor got there. And the main event that we have to talk about, the Bengals, Jamar Chase, Burrow's old running mate, is on the team. They draft him over a lineman, even though Burrow got hurt because he had no line. Offensive line play, tough to predict from year to year. I think it'll be a little better than last year. But I mean, this is like the sky's the limit for this pass offense, especially considering the volume and then you have Chase and Higgins, right?
Yeah, I'm curious to hear where you guys have these sorted out. I'm in line with ADP. I think, Higgins and Chase, they're a bet on talent when it comes to the ADP, that low end wide receiver 2 range. I love T. Higgins, love him. And you can sell me on Jamar Chase there. Tyler Boyd, I think, could lead the team in targets. So I think this just makes me like Joe Burrow than any one of these guys specifically. But how do you have these wide receivers sorted out? Because I'm pretty much in line with ADP right now.
Yeah, I think I like Higgins. I like Higgins, Chase, Boyd in that order. I do think that, Higgins going at 28, wide receiver 28, Chase at 31. I think both of those guys could actually beat their ADPs. And Boyd, I think the Bengals are a legit threat to have 3 top 30 wide receivers. But I think Boyd is a guy who probably, is around ADP or maybe a bit below. I think all 3 of those guys are very good receivers, obviously. And let's remember, AJ Green controlled 30% of their air yardage last year, and he was not producing at all.
Air yards, just completely.
Yeah. So that that just pumps Burrow up more. Yeah. That gives more space for Higgins, or you just give Chase 30%, which then he's blowing up. And because the offense will be better, almost unquestionably, without AJ Green's empty, inefficient targets, that's better for Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon, like you said. And there's still no tight ends. I mean, Sample probably starts. Soma, is coming off the injury. So this is just a great situation. I wouldn't shy away from any Bengals wide receiver, but especially not Higgins and Chase. I think this team could be top 5 in pass attempts, just given their talent. Like, okay, we're good at passing, so we're going to pass. That's what they've been doing, from a mix of being, bad as a team and being bad on defense, but also just their coach likes to pass. So, yeah, I love this Bengals team.
What do you think about Auden Tate as like a good late round flyer? Because he's going to be sort of the Josh Reynolds role where if any one of these 3 goes down, like he'll step right in and take most of their snaps. So where do you think he's a good late round investment?
Yeah, and definitely in a deeper best ball format. Absolutely. He's a guy that I believe they like him on special teams too, so he should be active. And this is a 4 wide receiver team a lot of the time because they don't have a lot at tight end. So what's our Bengals prop?
Our Bengals prop is, okay, so who's going to score more half-point PPR fantasy points? Jamar Chase or T. Higgins?
This could go either way. I have them neck and neck. I actually have Chase 0.1 ahead. So literally it's close per game. I mean, 0.1 ahead per game. So it could go either way. I think you could make a case for either. I mean, Higgins obviously has that extra year of experience, but Chase is so talented. And they're just going to help each other out. I think week to week, it's going to be like a Julio Ridley thing or something like that. You may not be able to predict who's the better guy or who even finishes higher. But I don't think it's going to matter. I think both of these guys have immense potential to beat their ADP. So like I have Chase, but just draft both. Don't shy away from either.
Yeah, so I have Jamar Chase projected for literally 1 more point than T. Higgins.
Oh, yeah. So we're right on. Yeah. It's about the same way you get, 0.1 per week. That's how you get there.
Yeah.
Right.